the shooting with Amen, it's listen, he's starting from a really rough base point, and he's 20 years old, and that's important to note coming in because it's much better if you're like a project shooter at 18 coming into the NBA versus when you're 20, you're coming into the NBA. You have less run time to get to where you need to be respectable. So listen, it's going to be interesting to see what he can develop when teams eventually wall off the paint and when teams close out shooters. What's his counter going to be? Is that going to be a floater? Is that going to be a mid-range jumper? Can he eventually develop a three-point shot? I don't know, but that's why we won't pay attention to the rebuild. That's why you and I do this, right? We want to know. We're trying to guess. We're trying to figure out how these guys develop these unique skills.
Yeah, and of course, I just have such confidence that this guy's going to put the work in, and shooting more than any other skill is just it's putting that work in over and over and over again. And it reminds me, I've said this before, of Jason Kidd. When he came into the NBA, it was bad. It looked ugly. It looked real ugly, probably uglier than what I see from Amen shot, to be honest with you. I don't know if you remember Jason Kidd when he first
Yeah.
started, but it was bad. And he put the work in, and over time he made it happen. He became a good shooter.
But it is an anomalous story, right? Like Jason Kidd is like the story that people point to. It's like Jason Kidd and Kawhi, right? Like those are the two stories that people point to in terms of like shooting was a weakness, became an unbelievable strength. Jason Kidd's one of the top, I think he still holds the top 10 of three pointers made. I'm not sure. It's a lot of players have been passing him up. I know Harden passed him up recently. I know Steph passed him up, but he was at one point among the top 10 in three pointers made. Kawhi Leonard is an elite 3-point shooter. So like getting from that to that, it's definitely something that's hard, but it's easier when you're not having to be that guy right away.
You're listening to Houston Sports Talk.